Nathan Bastian, a business magnate whose fortune was as vast as his determination, was used to conquering everything he desired. However, there was one area of his life where his negotiation skills and influence seemed useless: love. Despite the allure of his wealth attracting curious glances, his heart was a dark place, marked by the scars of a lost love. Nathan chose to follow an unexpected path to heal the wounds of the past. Driven by a mix of wounded pride and a desire for revenge, he devised a meticulous plan. After losing someone very special, Nathan found himself plunged into an ocean of painful memories and regrets. He knew that money couldn't buy happiness, but he was determined to find a way to fill the emptiness in his heart. He was tormented by the scars of a lost love. That's when an unusual idea emerged in his brilliant mind. He decided he would make a deal, not with just anyone, but with someone who could help him heal the wounds of that love. But who could that person be? And how would he convince someone to enter into this deal? With his sharp mind and unlimited resources, Nathan began to devise a meticulous plan. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to move forward. His mind was brimming with ideas to overcome the pains of the past, and one of them was as bold as it was risky. He decided that the best way to make his ex, Zoe, jealous would be to fake a new relationship, an affair that would draw everyone's attention to him. He was determined to provoke jealousy and regret in his ex, Zoe, whom he had replaced with someone else. With this decision made, Nathan began searching for the perfect woman to play the role of his fake girlfriend. He needed someone reliable, charming, and capable of convincing the world that he was madly in love. After much searching and a few unsuccessful attempts, Nathan finally found the ideal candidate, a young woman named Sabine. She was a simple woman, but with a huge heart and a contagious smile. Sabine worked in a small neighborhood grocery store, where she charmed everyone with her kindness and friendliness. When Nathan approached Sabine with his unusual proposal, she was initially surprised and suspicious. He explained the situation to her, telling her that she could be the perfect woman to help him with his plan. Amid the hustle and bustle of the grocery store, he made a proposal: "Agree to be my girlfriend by contract. You will have access to dazzling clothes, dinners in mansions, and the world will be at your feet. All I ask in return is your company by my side as part of a strictly professional arrangement." She, frightened, turned her back on him. He caught her attention again and handed her his business card, reassuring her, "Don't be afraid of me, miss. You see, I'm a respected businessman and I don't want to harm you. Here is my card, with the address and phone number of some of my businesses." She replied, "Are you joking? A relationship by contract? Please," she said, and walked away. He followed her and insisted, explaining that he just wanted to have a beautiful woman by his side to make his ex jealous, who had left him for someone else. When he finished speaking, Sabine saw the sadness in his eyes. Though hesitant, she considered the unusual proposal. Accepting would mean entering a world of luxury and extravagance, very different from her modest reality. However, motivated by a secret curiosity and by the need to help her mother and younger siblings, she agreed to take part in this game of appearances. Sabine, reluctantly accepting the proposal because of her family's financial need, never imagined that her life would change so radically by agreeing to this seemingly simple proposition. It was a difficult situation. Her family was facing financial hardship after the untimely death of her father, and she saw herself as the only hope of support for her sick mother and younger siblings. Taking this job was not just a matter of choice, it was an urgent necessity. Sabine had dreams, of course. She dreamed of studying, of traveling, maybe even of finding true love. But now, her dreams seemed as distant as the stars in the night sky. She knew she couldn't afford to dream while her family was struggling to survive. So, with a lump in her throat and a heavy heart, she swallowed her pride and accepted the offer. "It will only be for a period of 2 months, and we will have to attend a few social events together." The next day, she went to his office to sign all the necessary documents and receive part of the agreement. The second part would be given once the contract was completed. The two of them signed a 2-month contract to fake the relationship. Sabine felt a mix of nervousness and strangeness as she put her signature on the paper. She had never imagined that a romantic relationship contract could be something real, something so far removed from her romantic ideals. After signing the contract, Sabine underwent some changes to adapt to her new lifestyle. She immerses herself in the advice of her makeover team, which includes fashion consultants, etiquette coaches, and even a body language coach. She becomes an improved version of herself, more confident, elegant, and self-assured. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, Nathan is devising a clever plan. He decides to introduce Sabine at a series of exclusive social events where the city's elite gather. His intention is not only to show everyone that he has a new partner, but also to make Zoe, an ex-girlfriend who caused him great pain, jealous. Nathan knows that Zoe is vain and competitive, and he is determined to use that to his advantage. He believes that by showcasing Sabine at her best in front of Zoe and high society, he can prove that he has moved on and found someone even more amazing and beautiful. But what he didn't expect was that by putting Sabine at the center of his plan, he would become more and more captivated by her. At first, everything feels surreal to Sabine. She feels like she's in a movie, watching her own life from a distance. But as the days go by, she starts to get used to this new reality. She learns how to walk in heels without stumbling, to wear elegant dresses with confidence, and even to master the art of talking to strangers at parties. However, as well as she adapts to the superficial world around her, there is a part of her that remains true to her roots. She keeps her conversations genuine, her empathy for others, and her tireless work ethic, qualities that her fake boyfriend gradually begins to admire more and more. Meanwhile, Sabine also starts to notice changes in him. Behind the facade of success and power, there is a man with his own insecurities and vulnerabilities. She sees beyond the public image he projects to the world and discovers the kind heart he hides behind his emotional armor. Nathan was nervous as his meeting with Zoe approached. When he saw Sabine for the first time, elegantly dressed like a true woman of high society, he couldn't help but compliment her. "You are even more beautiful than I imagined. I'm sure this will be a wonderful evening. I can't wait to see Zoe's reaction when she realizes I'm accompanied by a woman more beautiful and interesting than she is." Sabine smiled upon hearing Nathan's words. She truly felt beautiful and confident in her attire, enhanced by the haute couture clothing, flawless makeup and jewelry. At the first event, Sabine impressed everyone, arousing Zoe's jealousy. She shone like a newly discovered star, radiating a confidence and elegance that captivated everyone around her. Her smile is genuine, her posture impeccable, and her conversation captivating, making people feel instantly at ease in her presence. Meanwhile, Zoe watches from afar, a mix of fascination and resentment in her gaze. She can't deny that Sabine is impressive, but she also can't help feeling a twinge of jealousy seeing Nathan so close to another woman. Every shared laugh, every exchanged glance, feels like a knife to her heart, reminding her of the relationship she once had with him. Sabine, for her part, is aware of Zoe's gaze on her, but she doesn't let it bother her. She is determined to play her part in this game of appearances, even if it means facing the hostility of Nathan's ex-girlfriend. As the night goes on and the compliments keep pouring in for Sabine, Nathan can't help but feel a twinge of pride. He sees how naturally Sabine adapts to the world he knows so well, how she shines even in the most difficult situations. And as he watches Zoe looking at them, he wonders if maybe there's more than just jealousy in her gaze. Zoe was furious to see Nathan accompanied by another woman at the event, especially because there were people present who had been part of their relationship. She regretted leaving Nathan, a rich, elegant, and kind man, for another who turned out to be rude and malicious. However, she still believed in the possibility of rekindling things with Rogerio because she knew he was deeply in love with her. Zoe is furious when she sees Nathan with Sabine and leaves the event. Her steps are quick and furious as she moves through the crowd, ignoring the curious glances turned her way. Her heart is tight with anger and jealousy, a tumultuous mix of emotions she struggles to control. Nathan feels a sense of triumph when he sees Zoe's reaction. He believes his revenge is working perfectly. Ever since she left him, he swore he would make her regret it. He has finally succeeded in making Zoe feel the same pain he felt when she left him. And now, seeing her leave in anger, he feels as if he has achieved his goal. After the excitement of Sabine's success at the reception, Nathan is able to observe more closely the charms of the woman in front of him. She is stunning. Her calm and serene gaze radiates a purity I have never seen in anyone else. She is truly charming, he thinks. That night, when Sabine returned home, she recalled the moments they had shared together. She feels joy seeing that Nathan was comfortable introducing her to his friends. Knowing that he regained his self-confidence that evening makes her happy. However, what he hadn't anticipated was that his admiration for her and his joy at her success were growing and turning into a deeper feeling. With the growing closeness and intimacy between them, a feeling that escapes the agreement begins to emerge: love. It's something no contract can define or control. Days turn into weeks and weeks almost into 2 months as Nathan and Sabine navigate through high society parties, their hands intertwined in a dance of illusions and empty promises. As days turn into weeks and the time left on the contract dwindles, Sabine and her fake boyfriend find themselves increasingly caught up in a dangerous game of emotion. They know that what they have is temporary, but what they're building together feels more and more real with each passing day. Despite their efforts to contain the feelings blossoming in their hearts, the magic of love stealthily seeps into every gesture, into every shared glance. As Sabine starts spending more time with her fake boyfriend, something strange begins to happen. She notices that there's a spark of chemistry between them, a connection that goes beyond rehearsed words and planned gestures. On the other side, the man with whom Sabine agreed to fake a relationship also starts to become intrigued by her. He has always been reserved, keeping his emotions at a distance, but something about Sabine makes him want to let his guard down. As they grow closer, the boundaries between the contract and reality begin to blur. They laugh together, share secrets and discover common interests they never thought they had. Nathan and Sabine begin to develop real feelings for each other. At first they try to deny these feelings. After all, they were only pretending to be in a relationship for convenience, weren't they? But as they spend more time together, sharing laughter, deep conversations, and moments of closeness, it becomes increasingly difficult to ignore the growing attraction between them. But deep down, they both know that the arrangement has an expiration date. When the 2 months are over, they will have to part ways and return to their normal lives. However, the heart often doesn't follow the rules set out in contracts on paper. However, Zoe was not satisfied with having lost Nathan for good. She investigated Sabine's life and ended up discovering the contract. Zoe is shocked. She couldn't believe what she had found out. A contract? She went through every word of the document. It was true after all. Nathan had made a contract to get revenge on her. Pleased to see that Nathan was capable of hiring a woman to pretend to be his girlfriend, she believed it was because he still loved her. One afternoon, she unexpectedly walked into his office looking very seductive and said, "You haven't forgotten me, darling, since you even went so far as to hire that awful woman to pretend to be your girlfriend." He, surprised by her unannounced entrance into his office, replied, "Well, you're right. I hired Sabine to pretend to be my girlfriend so that everyone would believe I wasn't suffering from your betrayal. But now I realize that I'm not suffering from having seen you replace me with someone else. In fact, I thank God for having gotten rid of a woman like you." Zoe, seeing the contempt in his eyes and hearing Nathan's words, immediately left the office. Under the light of a starry night full of promise, Nathan finally acknowledged the truth that was unfolding before him. He was no longer pretending to be in love. He had found it in its truest and most sincere form in Sabine's arms. The day the contract ended finally arrived, and Sabine's heart was heavy with sadness because she knew she would no longer be by the side of the man she had secretly learned to love. She dressed as if for a very sad occasion, and from time to time, a few tears escaped without her being able to hold them back. It was a day of immense pain for her. She entered Nathan's office with her head down, where he was already waiting for her. Noticing the obvious sadness in her eyes, he said to her, "The relationship contract is over, Sabine, but I would like to offer you a new one." She looked at him, confused, not understanding what he meant. Nathan continued, "I would like to offer you a commitment that isn't a lie." He then took a ring out of a small box and asked, "Will you marry me for real this time?" This time she let the tears fall, but this time they were tears of happiness. "Yes, Nathan, that's all I want most in life," Sabine replied. Thus, between an agreement made out of convenience and the irregular beats of a sincere heart, a love story was born that transcended the barriers of time and space, proving that even in the darkest shadows of vengeance, the light of true love will always find its way.